We are in Mount Carmel Cemetery, located in Hillside, Illinois. We are coming up to the gravesite of one Frank Nitti, born January 27th of 1886 and dying on March 19th of 1943. Frank is located in section 32 of the cemetery. Born Francisco Raffaele Netto in Italy, he arrives in New York via Ellis Island as an impoverished youth. Upon his arrival into Chicago after World War I, he was living at 914 South Halsted Avenue with his mother, Rose Netto. He starts out as a barber and jewelry fence for the local criminal element, eventually rising to the ranks of gangster stardom because of his savvy business and accounting skills. He's noticed by the infamous Al Capone around this time and becomes Al Capone's number 2 person. Nicknamed the Enforcer because the orders which are given to him by Capone are then relayed by Nitti to his stable of underlings, with the utmost devotion to get the job done right the first time. Giving a stickler approach to the attention to detail when planning business dealings or hits, Nitti gives his point of view or ideas to Capone on a regular basis. Never one to kill his own bare hands, Nitti is involved with the 1926 planning of the Jaime Weiss murder. The accuracy and precision involved with carrying out this hit shows just how much meticulous planning was involved with the murder. During the Roaring '20s, Nitti was mostly in charge with the day-to-day operations of Capone's liquor and vice operations. In 1930, Nitti was indicted for tax evasion. The charge was that he failed to pay income tax for the years 1925, 1926, and 1927, the total amount being of $277,000 of the alleged $743,000. Depending on who you ask, Nitti then disappears to either Florida or Italy. Eventually being caught and taken into custody, he's sentenced to 18 months in prison after the trial. His prison stay was for the most part unbearable. This was due to the fact that Nitti was extremely claustrophobic. However, he was eventually let out of prison for good behavior. On December 19th of 1932, 2 Chicago cops by the names of Harry Lang and Harry Miller visited Nitti in his downtown office. During the visit by the cops, Nitti was shot. The police alleged that Nitti made an attempt with his own gun against the officers. After the shooting, Nitti spent months in the hospital recuperating. It was later found out that Nitti was set up. It was reported that Miller and his partner were paid $15,000 to kill Nitti. Some reports speculate that Mayor Cermak paid to have Nitti killed. It was later reported that Nitti was unarmed at the time when Lang first shot himself in the hand, then shot Nitti in the abdomen. After a long trial, both officers were fired from the Chicago police force. After the incident with the officers and the ongoing media attention, it was believed that Nitti was the new power behind the outfit. According to some sources, Nitti and 3 other associates controlled all of the gambling that took place in Cook County in 1937. During this time frame, Nitti began purging the outfit, eliminating anyone who he believed as being a threat to the organization. Jack McGurn, Fred Goetz, Gus Winkler, Jack White, among others, were eliminated. Besides gambling, Nitti and his cohorts branched off into other rackets, which included vice, labor racketeering, along with legitimate businesses such as restaurants, bars, hotels, etc. They also took part in the extortion of Hollywood motion picture studios. This would eventually lead to their downfall. Nitti and his paisanos were eventually indicted for the $2.5 million shakedown of 4 motion picture producers. Paul Ricca, Louis Campagna, and others were also indicted. After the indictment, in a sit-down with Ricca, Campagna, and the others, Nitti was demeaned by Ricca and was told how he let the outfit down. He was also told that since he was the originator of the shakedown, that he should face prison time alone. Nitti was also told it was he who trusted the alleged rat Willie Byoff, who in turn went to the FBI. After the meeting, Nitti felt abandoned by the people he thought were his true friends. He also thought about the prison time he no doubt would be serving. On March 19th of 1943, he made sure his wife Antoinette was on her way to Our Lady of Sorrows Church to make a novena. After his wife left for church, Nitti went to the liquor cabinet to get boozed up, to help calm the nerves for what he was about to do. After boozing it up for several hours, Nitti then grabs a 38 caliber revolver, loads it, then heads out the door. He then goes for a walk near some railroad tracks. He fires 2 shots at random, which alert 2 railroad workers. The railroad workers then observe Nitti sitting on the ground, then placing the smoking gun to his temple, pulling the trigger, and that was the end of Frank Nitti. After Nitti's death, the possibility was noted that he was suffering from cancer. Frank was a loving family man who left behind his 3rd wife, Antoinette, and his adopted son from his 2nd marriage to wife Anna.